Hey guys, so I went to a competition this weekend and I got some great 5x5 solves, but you can't really see it because of the way I'm holding the cube. The reason I'm holding the cube under the table is so that I can wait 1 minute and then just swap it out for a solved cube, and no one will know. That's my new strategy for beating competition nerves, and there are other people who do it too. Okay, so the actual reason is, for heavier puzzles, I prefer to hold it closer to myself because I feel like it takes less strength and I can practice for longer without my fingers getting quite as tired. 5x5 is one of my favorite puzzles because it balances what I like in speed solving. First of all, there's very little luck involved. On 4x4 and 6x6, there are parity steps that show up randomly, and on 6x6, for example, if I'm about to get my PB and I get triple parity, I will get a very, very bad solve. But on 5x5, there's only one possible parity step, and you can mitigate that by learning all of the last two edges algorithms. Next, 3x3 is also one of my favorite events, but compared to 5x5, one reason 5x5 is great is because on a 3x3, I can look at the scramble and say, okay, I'm not going to get my PB here because it's not lucky enough. But on 5x5, you never know what could happen, and there are so many different steps that can cancel the luck out from each other that it seems a lot more skill-based than luck-based. As in, the probability that luck actually has a big factor in my solve in 5x5 is very low. And then lastly, the hardware for this is so good. The Outrun GTS M I feel like doesn't really hinder my solves and is super fast, which means I don't feel like it makes me turn slower much, except for like OLL and PLL. I turn slower on 5x5 compared to 3x3, but for the rest of the solve, it's really good. So 54 seconds is really good for me, but two solves later, I got a 53 and I got way too excited at the end. So anyway, I use the Yao method on 5x5, which is about similar speed to reduction. And what you do is after the first two centers, you make the first four edges for your cross. So here, I'm going to have the blue cross on the right, and I'm going to make the cross on blue. But if you're right-handed, you should mirror this and put the cross on the left. So it's really similar to 4x4. There's my last cross edge on the left side, which I just hold on to. And here you have to like preserve the cross on the right side, so it's going to make the centers a little bit worse. But then here I get to last two centers, and here it's actually pretty much the same as reduction. It doesn't really get any slower. So I find that the amount of hindrance on your centers is not a really big deal on 5x5. It gets worse on 6x6 and up because 5x5 centers are pretty simple. And then here you can see that I'm barely pausing through the edges because it's so easy to look ahead when the bottom is all solved and an entire color is removed from your edges. I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? So I really love this cube I'm using, and if you want to check out the one that I use, then the link is in the description. I had gone through a phase where I thought big cubes were stupid and not fun, but really it was just because I was good at 3x3 and not good at the big cubes. But once I gave them a chance and got decent at them, then I realized they can be really fun, especially 5x5.